same exact power. So what does that mean? What is the power of the Spirit in our lives? It's the same exact power that raised the dead Messiah to life. The very power applied of the empty tomb power to your life. So what does it mean, the power that you have? Today the message is called the power. What power do you have? What do we find on the day of first fruits? What do we find on the morning of the resurrection? Because that's going to tell us about the power that you have. What is that power? Let's open it up. Power. If you are riding somewhere, you're in a car, you're riding and you suddenly jam on the brakes, what happens? You keep going. The car stops, you keep going. That's called inertia. If you're riding in the snow and you jam on the brakes, the car keeps going. That's inertia. If you're roller skating, how many people are good at roller skating? How many people are terrible at roller skating? That's me. How many people think roller skating was invented to humiliate you? I hate it. I don't know why I don't learn. You know, I did it as a kid, and I mean, you go around the rink, and I couldn't stop. I'd have to crash into the water cooler. And then I did something really stupid after I was in ministry. I said, you know, I'm going to go for those roller blades. You know, and a big mistake. I went to a park, and I'm trying to do this. I'm going, what did I do? Why did I do this? And I'm on the grass. It was okay, but as soon as I went on the road, I'm like going crazy. And I end up on a car, like I'm clinging to the front of a car. And I'm saying, I gotta return this. And I'm just clinging, and somebody goes and says, are you him? Are you the guy I see on? I said, no, I'm not him. I'm not him. Let him alone. But that's because momentum, there's something in life, there are physical laws that you keep going, and you keep going, and whatever an object in motion, Newton's law, tends to stay in motion. And so here, what happened on the resurrection? The resurrection is the power to undo all that. In other words, the resurrection, here it is, the power of the world crucifies the Messiah, puts him, he's dead. That's the power of this world. That's the momentum of sin. And yet, in that tomb, he turns it all around. The momentum shifts, it reverses. That which was dead can't come alive again, he comes alive again. He reverses the momentum of this world. And what is that? In this life, you have inertia. That's why it's hard to break a sin often. It's hard often to break a habit. It's hard to stop doing what you're doing. Because it's like jamming on brakes, the old nature just keeps going on. But the mystery tells us here tonight that the same power that turned around everything, the momentum of the universe, is in your life now. In that garden tomb, you've got the same power in the Spirit. If you live by the Spirit of God, then if you live by the Spirit, you don't have to accept things as they are. Because you have the power to turn them around. You have the power to turn your course. It doesn't matter if it's 50 years of bad momentum, you can turn the course. Doesn't matter if it's 200 years of family problems passed down. You've got the power to turn the course and turn the course. Any situation in your life, if you'll live by it. Paul was accused of being what? Being the man, he says he's turning the world upside down. What a great charge. Why could he do that? Because he had the power of resurrection. If you walk in the Spirit, you can turn anything around. You can turn sorrow into joy. That's what it says. Bondage into freedom, it says. A bad situation into a redeemed situation. A bad relationship into a redeemed relationship. Next power. They went to find him. Miriam goes to find him at that tomb that day. What happens? What did the angel said? He is not here. Why do you look for the living one among the dead? He is not here. He is risen. He's not here. Believers are often stuck in the same place for years and years and years. I mean, the place in God, the place where in your walk, or where you're not, you shouldn't be, but you're there. Now, if anybody should have stayed put, it was Messiah when he was dead. When you're dead, you stay where you are. But when they weren't looking, he was gone. They said, he's not there. What's that? That's the power of the resurrection. Resurrection power, which is what? It's to not be where you should be by the laws of this world. That you don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay put. You don't have to stay in that situation. To not be where you've been up to this point. That's the power. To leave where you were. You know, people should be looking for you in the darkness, and they say, well, he's not even there. They're not there anymore. The old habits, the old arguments, the old thing, when they look at the old history, you're not there anymore. So that's someone, but that's not me anymore. That's the old me. That's not me. He is not there. That means I don't have to be there anymore either. Means you don't have to dwell in a place of dead things. You look for him in the old life, he's not there. It says we don't even recognize him by the old anymore. You look, he won't be, he's gone, he's not there. And that means we don't have to dwell in old habits either. The power of the Spirit moves. That's the nature of it. The wind moves. If the wind stops moving, it's not the wind. The Spirit moves. It gives you the power to move, to leave, to walk through, move forward. Doesn't matter how stuck you've been, you can move. And not just the power to leave. You know, the Roman soldiers, when that tomb opened up, the Roman soldiers, it says they became like dead men. And here it is, and so it means that the power that was there, the mystery of these 2 days, the 50th day, the first day, means they're linked together. Whatever happened at that tomb, that's the power that comes in 50 days later. It means that power, you know, believers often live as if the enemy were stronger than God. Or the darkness, that sin is stronger than the power of life. And the evil's going to win, and I'm on the losing side. I'm always frustrated. I'm always failing. That's how many believers live. But that is not our faith. That's another faith, but it's not our faith. That's the world. That's the old stuff. I understand it. That's how life is, but that's not how God is. The mystery is that if you live by the Spirit and walk in the Spirit, you'll have the power, like Messiah on that day, to overwhelm what is against you. The powers of the enemy will not win, but you will win by the Spirit of God. Not by your flesh, not by your might, but by the Spirit of God. The Messiah of the Spirit, not just to win, but actually to overwhelm. He overwhelmed death that day. You got the power to overcome the world and gloom and the past and the flesh and the devil. What else happened on that day?